What is going on, guys? It is Eric here again, Traveling Trading. About to do this recap video here for you guys today. It is Wednesday, June 23rd. And what we are about to go over here is this recap of one of the trade, well, actually the only trade I took today, which was ENTX. And pretty much how it was traded, what I was looking at, and essentially how the gains and stuff like that came about, because a lot of people were asking me about this trade. A few of you guys had it, questions about it in the Facebook group and everything. So I wanted to go over this trade here again for you guys, so you kind of see what I'm looking at and understand where all this pretty much come from. Again, the post in the Facebook is listed there for you guys. If you scroll back to this date or whatever, if you're looking at this in the future, but the post is in there. This was a good 33% gain, so about $1,000 on it. On this trade. So we'll take a look at this here. We'll review it. Hopefully I'll break it down, make it a little bit more clear for you guys to understand how this trade took place and the concept behind it. Okay. So obviously, of course, like I like to say a lot of times, you guys, I am not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes only. Do your own due diligence and things like that. The nature, I'm not responsible for your account and all that good stuff. Okay. This is just my personal take on everything. So let's get into pretty much what we're looking at here. Okay, pretty much this is ENTX, and this is the play, one of the plays that went pretty good today. All right, within the alerts chat room. So let's take a step back here real quick, because I also want to address a few of the other questions that some people had as for me as well too. Um, I know one of the traders in the group in the chat room did message me. They were asking about the indicators that I use. I was supposed to look up that video for you. Um, I believe it was Tony that asked me, or Zhang, whatever your username was. Sorry if I got it wrong, but I was trying to find that video that we were talking about, and I just realized if I go back and look through all those videos, try to find out where my indicators are, it'll be a lot of time taken up on my hands, and I don't really have that much time to go through and look through those videos. So I kind of break it down for you. I know I sent it to you in the message, but the indicators that I use, like I said, it basically breaks down to 5 different indicators. Okay, one of them is the RSI, which is the relative strength index. The other one I use is the MACD, moving average convergence divergence. I use super trend. I use volume weighted average price, which is this yellow line, and then I use the moving average, which is the blue line here. Okay. Um, these are just the indicators I use, guys. They're just in my trading strategy and how I like to trade. I'm not saying that these are the best indicators. These are the ones that just work for me. Okay. Just like how people have the preferences on maybe like, what type of car they might drive. Some people might like to drive a BMW. Other people might like to drive an Audi. It's just your preference, your personal preference. What fits you as a trader or a driver? Okay. These are just the ones I use. And I built my trading strategies, around these indicators to help me, become profitable. Take a step back. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll walk you through all this in the course. Okay. Okay. The courses, the brokers that I use, all this stuff that we're about to talk about is going to be in the links if you, use them, if you need to use them or if you wanted to get them. Okay. Because a lot of people were asking me about that as well too. The reason why I don't push the course on you guys like that, because I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm here to, show you guys the trades that I do, help you out. The alerts are there for you as well too. The course is really just for people who are beginning and starting out, have no idea what's going on with anything. And it kind of just condenses everything and breaks down the important stuff that you need to know, as far as trading and be able to trade like I do. And I update those courses, as often as I can, put different, things in there that I feel like would help you as a beginner. Okay. But you don't have to take it. It's just, there for you. And pretty much mostly everything I talk about, guys, for you, it's either in that book that's in the Facebook group on, like, how to day trade for a living, by Andrew Aziz, which is a really good book if you're starting out, that I suggest you read. I wish I'd have read that book when I first started out. I had no idea about it, but it's a really good book. And also there's a lot of material if you guys are chat room members or subscribers. In the learning lounge section of the channel, I put in there for you just tons and tons of good information from beginning to end. Pretty much think about all that stuff being condensed into the course that I have available for you guys. So it makes it a little bit more easier for you to understand, and you can work on different sections that you feel you need to improve on of becoming a really good trader, okay, on a day-to-day basis. Again, you don't have to do it. All that stuff and information is there for free. I just condense it, make it easier and quicker for you to be able to learn it, all right? So pretty simple there. Now, let's first start off with some of the issues and questions that was addressed with this trade here. Guys, first of all, this trade here, the way I did it and stuff like that, it took place pre-market. Now remember, with pre-market trades, if your broker doesn't allow you to trade pre-market, first and foremost, you just can't do that. Okay, so that's why I always tell you guys getting brokers like Webull and Mumu. I mean, they're good for just not just zero commissions. Almost pretty much every broker is going to eventually come to that. But also you have access to all trading hours. You won't get that with you know brokers like Robinhood or E-Trade and Fidelity. You might get a little bit of pre-market, but you won't get full pre-market. And a lot of us that are in the group that are trading with people are getting these trades, you know, right in pre-market. We're not waiting to see that they've gapped up so much. We're in there grabbing those gains when they're there too. Okay, so that's one key thing you need to know about that. Another question I think Dennis had asked too about is, being able to place the limit order and, how you have to change it up and it's impossible to get it at the very bottom and things like that. To be honest with you, it is and it isn't. It is if you don't really know what to look for in the trade, okay? Or even in an alert, or even if you just looked at a stock and you just happen to find a stock that you like and you wanted to trade it. You're correct. It is pretty hard to switch and change your limit order to a different number. By the time it's happened, the trade has already changed. That is correct. But again, that is why you need to plan your entries and exits. Like I tell everybody in the group, and I mention it in the course a lot of times, if you are planning a trade and you miss that entry point or that exit point, stop, move on. Just wait till the next setup that might come and plan accordingly. Because the moment you try to start switching things up, you're probably gonna, you're psychologically you're gonna mess yourself up and you're gonna end up messing up that trade. It's okay to move on to the next thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, opportunities will always be there in the market, so understand that. But yeah, it is hard to be able to switch the limit orders depending on your broker. For me, it isn't. I mean, it's pretty. I do it pretty quickly in Webull, and before a trade even takes place, I already had it planned out. Granted, I didn't catch ENTX at the very bottom, but I was pretty close. Why was I pretty close? Because I had planned this trade before I got into it. I knew what to look for based on my trading strategy, and I measured my risk accordingly to my trade. I knew where I was going to get stopped out at if I didn't like what I was seeing and cut my losses quickly, and I knew where I wanted to get in and where I wanted to get out. Now, the odds of me getting filled was just based on the broker that you had, because some brokers are faster than others, but also too, getting the odds of getting filled is going to be based on the odds of you knowing what you're looking at in your trade as well too. So the good thing with this in pre-market, like I tell you guys in the course, what to look for in pre-market, I seen and I was able to plan accordingly, based on what I seen in like level 2 and things like that. Which level 2 access you get for free with Mumu. I don't know if they still charge it for Webull or not. I don't subscribe from it, so I don't get charged for it, but I still have access to it, which is very weird. But I use Mumu's anyway because it's faster. But yeah, all that stuff is in the links for you. All those resources in this link in this video for you guys. Okay. But yeah, I got it pretty low because I knew what to look for. Level 2, I set my entry and exits accordingly. The first one was limit order because it was a pre-order that got filled, and then of course after the market opened up, I exited the position using a market order. I didn't wait for a limit order because like you said, it was very fast. Market moving, especially in the hours that I exited, which was very early. Like I tell you guys in the course, like the first 30 minutes to an hour of the day of the stock market, it's a lot of things going on with the trading, and stocks are moving really really fast. And getting a limit order fill is pretty hard. So I use market orders. The rare times that I do hold the stock in between pre-market and the bell, I don't really like to do that because I don't see setups unless I'm already in it, kind of like this trade. But again, this is just giving you my perception of my trading strategy, guys. Okay, you don't have to follow these rules, especially if you knew it might be a little bit more complex for you, but I'm just giving you some insight once you get more advanced. Okay, so hopefully that answered a lot of your question there, about doing the limit orders and the entries and exits of it, pre-market and after hours. Again, this was a 33% gain because I got in this stock at $6.21, and then I got out at 8.25, which was pretty much close to the peak, which I got really, really, lucky at. Not lucky, but lucky because one, the odds were in my favor. Why? Because I knew what to look for, and we're going to go over what I was looking at. Okay. And again, to read all this stuff, I teach guys that in that course. Okay. Again, learn it on your own, but try to follow me along with what you might know now. But again, this is pretty much it. Okay. So let's first start with the alert and how all the chat rooms and members were able to get a hold of the alert and pretty much do the due diligence that I tell you. Okay. Um, so we'll start from there, and I'll show you how this trade played out. Okay. Um, Another thing too, if you're not, you might be in the Facebook group, which is great. You know, so you can still be able to ask questions and things like that and get knowledge and stuff like that from other traders too. But if you're not in the Facebook group and you wanted to get into the chat room and get the alerts and everything like that, you got to be subscribed to the channel, which is, again, I'll put that link in this video as well too. It's at www.travelingtrading.com if you needed to go there. Okay. If you have any issues, just message me and let me know. But this is pretty much where everybody's getting the alerts and the trades from. Okay. So let's start from today. And that's where they get the watch list and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And so many videos on that too. Okay. So this is pretty much where we're at, right? Today is June 23rd. Boom. Early in the morning, we're looking at, and you can check the time frames. Again, I'm on the West Coast. This is West Coast time. I just try to keep it at West Coast time for when I do come back home and I'm not traveling. So obviously just put 3 hours ahead of this, and it'll probably be equivalent to you if you're on the East Coast or if you're in the Midwest or Mountain Standard Time, whatever time zone you're in. Just try to adjust it accordingly. But this is going to be based off West Coast time. And yeah, it is very hard because I'm always up at like 1 a.m. trading. It's very difficult. But a lot of people ask me that. But anyways, let's get back to it. So here's just some key alerts pre-market to let you know what was going on. We got our alert about ENTX right here at 5:30 a.m. Okay, which was not even a few minutes behind the spike. Not only did we get the alert about it spiking up, but then we also got the news of why it did, which is, as you guys know, and what I talked to you about in the course, the catalyst. And what I tell you what to do with the catalyst, you should know if you're in that course. But anyways, so 5:34, which was pretty much right around this area here. Not even like 1 minute after the spike. Okay. Again, like we had talked about in the Facebook group, the alerts aren't a crystal ball. They're not for you to just run and jump in and blindly take a trade. I tell you guys never to do that. Even on the frequently asked questions on the website, it says never to do that. But again, you can do that if you want to. Some people are good at doing that. It's up to you. I personally don't, because of too much of a risk factor. I need to wait and see a setup. Okay. But yeah, stock went off, or the alerts went off. It's not a crystal ball. It's not going to tell you beforehand, hey, the stock is about to go up. It's not going to tell you the day before that, hey, the stock is going to go up. How are you going to be able to know something that doesn't happen before? Anybody that tells you they have an alert system that was telling you that a stock was going to run 1,000% before it happened are lying to you. Okay, just point blank period. It just doesn't work out, and they're trying to scam you for your money. They can't tell you something that's going to happen before it happened, because that would be inside trading, which is illegal. Um, so if you find somebody who got that, you might want to stay away from them. But anyways, yeah, alerts will tell you stocks are moving or what stocks to look at. And from there, you guys should know, if you've been in the chat room and alert system, what to look for after that. You guys know me. Like I said, I when alert goes off, I'll look at it. I'll wait for it to set up. If it's not continuously doing what I needed to do, like I mentioned in the course, then I'm moving on. All right. But this stock did exactly what I thought it was going to do, and it was playing out the way I thought it was going to play out. And I pretty much hit the nail on the head. With the risk size that I took, I was prepared to, take a hit if I needed to. And you guys know I would show you that if I did, because I show you on all the other trades that I take where I'm losing money or I'm gaining money. But again, this one just worked out good, like a lot of them do, because I've tested this strategy plenty of times. All right. So I'm trying to make this video as short as possible, but trying to get into detail as much as possible too for those of you that are new, because this will go out to everybody. This won't be just limited to the chat room or the courses. I want all you guys to see this. Okay. But anyways, stock went up. It set up, did its thing. What is it forming there? Cup and handle. I tell you guys to read those charts, know those charts. It's forming there. I love the cup and handle play. It's a small cup and handle, but it's still a cup and handle play. What that's telling me is that there's buying pressure there. It's going to keep going up. And you guys know me. I love bull plays. I'm a bullish trader. That's just how I am by nature. I can short trade, but I don't like to. But if I need to, I'll do it when I know what's there that I like to see. All right. But anyways, cup and handle formed. Moving average was coming down. I like that. And then it started to turn on the MACD, which is what I look for again in my strategy. Then I entered in at the 621. Why? Because when I was looking at this after that alert, because pre-market was already slow. Again, this didn't go up to 8 o'clock, so I had no choice but to look at it. Okay, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Pre-market opens up at like 4 o'clock here, so I was up already, or 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock, Pacific time. The reason why I was able to catch this is because this was basically the only other play that alert that was good. Would I had jumped on something like Tesla or Loop or CLOV or JXN? I mean, I could. I mean, there was a volume spike with ALF, but there was no setup for me there. Why would I get on this? Why would I trade something that I don't know how to trade? I mean, I've been doing this long enough. I know not to jump into every alert. You guys should know that too. And like I said, that's why you want to find a strategy and play to it. So the reason why I stuck with ETNX, because by then these other alerts here that made moves weren't something I was interested in. Me personally, some other people might have been banking on it. Some people might have been holding some of these from the last alerts from yesterday. Great, good for you. Wasn't my trade, wasn't my setup, so I didn't worry about it. But ENTX went off, had a catalyst. I loved that. I looked for it, got in at that 621, which was pretty much right around this area here because of what I seen in level 2. So there's my entry. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Now let's get on to the stock B move. I'm in the position. I'm sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. Was a little worried right here, but I wasn't getting out because of what happened afterwards, and I gave it some time because you guys know the way I traded, how my strategy is. This one I did the strategy. I think I call it the VWAP strategy or something like that. But anyways, it didn't break the VWAP, which was good. I know it was still bullish, 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 bullish. Wanted to take my exit and profits right here, because I was already up a good couple of cents, but I didn't, just because of the fact that it was still trending high, and I wanted to let the stock play out since I was already in. I knew by the time the market opened personally that if I needed to hot key it out and get and exit my position, I would have been okay with that. I was willing to take that risk because of the entry that I was in. From the level of support that I was looking at, 590, me personally, is where I was, looking at. And even though I got in at 620, I was okay with looking at losing that. But guess what? It never dropped there. How did I know it was never going to drop there? I didn't, but I met, based on what I'm seeing here, guys, the odds are in my favor. Was I a little bit alarmed right here? Probably so. I had my finger hovering over a button. I'm not gonna lie. I was ready to click it and just exit my position and take my gains where I had it. However, I did not because of what I seen in this area. If you don't know what I've seen in this area, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you're not reading the books I tell you to read. You're not studying what I tell you to study. You're not following nothing to the course. But there is something in there that in this area that made me say, "Oh no, stay in it." And I'm not talking about this buy signal here. This is from the super trend. Um, Quick little note, guys, if you ever see like advertisements and stuff like that, people saying, "Oh, buy our indicators, they work great, you never lose, blah blah blah." All they're trying to do is sell you a super trend indicator, which is already free if you're using TradingView. um, FYI, so just save you some monthly subscription there. But anyways, it wasn't this indicator that got me to stay in the position. Actually, this indicator was kind of late here, so you know I don't know what to tell you. I just experience helps play a part. But anyways, still in the trade. I stayed in the trade. Stock just ran up, ran up, ran up, ran up, ran up. And I'm like, okay, let this thing keep riding. I knew this thing was dying down. Why did I know that? Two reasons. We're already above the 70 in the RSI. And of course, the moving average convergence divergence is starting to cool down. Okay. So at this point, I know that it's going to start to turn and start to break down here, which it already did. The only reason why I knew that is because of my indicators, and also I was watching level 2 as the buying pressure started to die down as well. So what happened for me is I got out on the green candle, which I was hoping to come there, which was pretty much at the 825 level. It's like 825 or 826 within this green candles when I got out, and which was good because look, not even a few minutes later, boom, dropped. I mean, yeah, I would have still been in the green if it would have dropped there. Um, this indicator here with the super trend makes me think that the stock is going to stay down for a while. So usually when I see something like that, I definitely want to get out at the highest peak that I can. But again, you can use those indicators to however you see fit. But yeah, see, it stay trending now. Had a little buy signal here, but again, guys, you practice this and you'll learn that strategy on what to look for in this part in the course that I teach you. Okay, but anyways, I got out right before the signal happens. I beat this signal and I beat that signal. Why? Because I knew what to look for. Don't just rely on indicators. Remember, indicators only indicate, they never dictate. You as a trader should know when to enter, when to exit, and besides, these indicators are lagging. Okay, they tell you what happens afterwards, not tell you what's going to happen beforehand. All right, as you can see. Um, but yeah, so yeah, this pretty much told you, hey, the buying pressure, I'm sorry, the selling pressure was coming and is staying. Now you should sell. This one here is telling you buying pressure is coming. You should stay. It's not telling you to get in beforehand. It told you after the three candles there was shooting it up. All right. But anyways, entered in at 621, got out at 625, $1,000 profit. Measured my risk to reward accordingly. Filled the orders. It was a market order that I did the exit. That was pretty much it, guys. Hopefully this helps. Like I said, if you need more clarification on it, let me know. If any of the stuff that I went over, you have no idea what I'm talking about, go read the books. If you're not a subscriber or a member of the chat room and alerts, which I don't know why you wouldn't be if you're taking it serious, but if you're not, go ahead and read the free books that are in the file section of the Facebook group. But if you are a member, take some time studying the chat room, or ask traders in the chat room, study in the learning lounge if you need to. Worst case scenario, guys, sign up for the course. Actually, best case scenario, that's really the quickest shortcut, and for you to get better insight on things as well too, because it's a lot of resources in there for you guys in that course. I mean, things that I wish I would have found when I first started years ago. But anyways, those are your options, guys. I'll put the links to everything that I talked about in this video, so take a look at it. If you have any questions, message me, email me, and other than that, let's get ready for tomorrow. It's Thursday, aka my Friday, because I don't like trading on Fridays. But anyways, tomorrow's Thursday. We're gonna, get back at it again. Hopefully, make some more money. All right. Until then, guys, stay green.